Shall we get this dog and pony show going? Oh, you know what? I didn't change the thumbnail. Hey, everybody, how we doing? Happy hump day on the Morning Night Live. Well, here, let me change the thumbnail. Let me watch this. Watch this. I'm going to change the thumbnail and see if you even notice. See if you even notice, because, you know, Christmas for Democrats and leftists is postponed, unfortunately, but the headline remains the same: Trump to be arrested. Now, today I have a long list of things to talk about that came from Twitter, even though I normally don't spend a lot of time on Hump Day talking about things from Twitter, although everything I talk about ends up on Twitter eventually anyway. So we're just gonna do that thing that we do. You know, do that thing you do. Remember what was that movie called? Tom Hanks had this new band and they sang this song, That Thing You Do. Oh, it's called That Thing You Do. I can't remember how the song goes. But anyway, shall we enjoy some Hump Day? I say, shall. Johnny, play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
All right, I think you should hear me a little better now. I remember to turn the game back up. I was doing some recording yesterday, and, that's what happened. So anyway, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the P-Dog Knight channel, where we're waiting for Arrestmas. Yes, for Democrats, it'll be a big holiday. They'll be dancing in the street. There'll be, dogs and cats will be sleeping together, and the whole works. You know what I mean? And I kind of think that, the more I think about it, the more bogus the arrest from the DA from the Manhattan, New Jersey, Manhattan something, New York district is. Did I even say what day it was? Good morning. It's Hump Day, Wednesday. By the way, it's Wednesday, the 22nd of March. Hump Day, Wednesday, and I'm Marty, your host, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet. So. Anyway, this thing by Alvin Bragg, I'm finding humor in it because, it's one of those things that, the thing that I think Trump's going to be charged with in New York, is something that another candidate already got. Well, she didn't get charged with it, but it was the exact same thing. Literally, what he's going to charge him for is something that another candidate basically got an administrative fine for. It's real weird, but he's trying to make it into felony, and that's the whole weird thing. I don't know if I want to talk about it that much today, but we'll see. There's a whole bunch of stuff on my plate. Plus, Gunfox has given me something to. Oh, let's see. Oh, goody. Does this article come from somewhere else? Or is this a original article here? Anyway, Gunfox sent me an article that, let's just say that if you don't support this, I'm just saying, we have more. Anyway, more. How do you like it? Anyway, let's say good morning, everybody, and get this show on the road. First on Rumble is Mr. Avocados Diablo, who gets the bell. Also, good morning, Jimmy Dawes. Hold it. What? I'm sorry. Did I say Avocados Diablo? See, I remembered this time. Also, Jimmy Dawes Hotep's in the house. And also, good morning to our friend Furry Kitten, who makes an appearance over on Rumble. On YouTube, Avocados Diablo gets the bell there, too. How the hell do you beat me saying good morning on my own damn show when I'm the one setting up the show? I literally am setting up the show, and I click the button, the chat pops up, and I'm typing in good morning, and all of a sudden, boom, bam, smack. Avocados Diablos are there. How do you beat me when I'm the one setting up the damn show? You don't get it. There's no way you get a notification that fast. Are you just hitting refresh over and over and over on YouTube? I don't know how the hell you do it. But, hey, Johnny on the spot, Avocados Diablo, he got the bell. Also, good morning to Jimmy Das Hotep, who's over also on YouTube, too. Dr. Funkenstein's Ghost, Ty Alexander, what's up, my brother? Good morning. Also, Septus Wolf, Rotten Corpse in the house, my favorite Canadian. Jaeger Pony is here. Simon Wolfwood's in the house. Nice to see you. Also, Attack Alpaca. Jen T. Maxley, another one of my fine Canadian friends. Also, good morning to Don Julio, Gulf City Biker and Trash Man. Jay Pylon's in the house from Hotep Nation. Good morning, Trippy Liberty, my man. Good morning, HP Lovecraft, TC. Let's see. Oh, now I'm starting. Now, Gunfox 61. Good morning, Ranting Possible. Yeah, it's possible. We'll get to your super there in a second. Also, good morning to anyone else in here. Tyler F's in the house. Nice to see you. And I think am I getting Pesquipos 5Z's in the house. Good morning. And I think maybe those ain't real dudes here. Nice to see you. Oh, there's a whole bunch of people in here that I haven't said anything to. Those ain't real dudes here. JMK. Shrapnel's in the house. Gulf City DCC 182, a.k.a. Blink. Good morning, Mona Lisa. Nice to have you back. Remember, Iran has an arrest warrant for Trump, and New York can hand Trump over to Iranian authorities equals goodbye Trump. I'm not so sure about that. No, they cannot. That would require the U.S. government to hand Trump over to Iranian authorities. That would be crazy. But anyway, Mona Lisa, are you related to Mike, by the way? You have the same green thing there. It could be Mike. Maybe not. I don't know. Also, hello to anybody else new in here? Anybody else? No. All right. I'm glad y'all are here. Candyman. Don't say it. Don't say it again. Don't say it again. Ah! Okay. Episcopos. What's that Jeffrey dude? Are you trying to conjure up Jeffrey Marsh? Every time I see that dude in videos, I'm like, oh, he's definitely got a candy van. No, you'd be saying candy van, not candy man. You'd be saying candy van if you're trying to get Jeffrey Marsh, because that creepy motherfucker. Oh, did I? It was too late. Can I swear on this yet? Yes, I can. I'm past the 7-minute mark. I'm well past the 7-minute mark. Okay. Anyway, so should we get this started? First, there's a super chat, not a super chat, a Streamlabs donation from Gunfox61, dropping a Hamilton in the tip jar, which makes you Gunfox61.
You are the
Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day so far. Thank you for dropping some insanity into the mix. This article, I'll get to that. I promise to read it today. In fact, right now, if you submit an article or whatever with your Streamlabs donations, I will make sure to get to it each day. I'm going to try to make that happen. Katie did skate. What's up? Wait, it's Episcopos. That's what I said. Are you? Oh, you Episcopos. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Anyway. No. Hi, Katie. Nice to have you back. I missed you. So, shall we start with, let's see, just some things trending on Twitter today, because I like to tell you what's happening, what people are talking about, what people care about. But before I do that, let me make sure that I say thank you to TC, Simon Wolfwood, let's see, TC a couple times, Jimmy Das Hotep, all you people who have tweeted out the show today. Now, I don't know other places people put, share the stream, but that's really, really important to me. I'm really trying to grow this channel, and I really appreciate those of you who do that. And also, since this that's how you sponsor the show. You don't have to. I mean, donation sponsors the show. You can give donations at pdognight.live, which is the Streamlabs link, and that's how the Streamlabs Superstar sponsors of the day come from. YouTube Super Chats, Rumble Rants, and what is it? Venmo, Cash App in the description, but also just hitting the like button, sharing the stream, throwing comments in the comment section. All that stuff helps make the YouTube gods and the Rumble gods, make the show work a little better. In fact, how many people are watching on Rumble? Does it say anywhere in here? I can never tell. It doesn't tell you right away. It takes a while for that to click in. But and also, if you're watching, if you even got this far on Rumble to watch this show, please put a comment in the comment section just so I know who you are, where you came from, even if you only watch for a couple minutes. because I'm trying to figure out where all these, I'm getting like hundreds of views of Rumble every day, but it's not during the show. So somehow you've clicked on this, you got here. Just let me know how you got here. I'm just curious. So I appreciate that. Apparently Rumble does show, put videos out there. Hey, P-Dog, I'm here in Sweden with Episkipos. Oh, a.k.a. Jones. Oh, Jonah. Oh, I did not know that. I didn't even know you were in Sweden. That's cool. More international viewers. And good morning, Canon Hotep's in the house. All right, let's talk about a few things that people are talking about today, and then we'll get in the news. Apparently today is a epic holiday known as World Water Day. Which means somebody has come up with another way to claim some environmental stuff. But, water's important, so I kind of get it. And, different places in the world where people have trouble getting fresh water. Let's see. So the top tweet on this today, or overall, is someone saying the significance of water is phenomenal. People are looking at it as a commodity today, but actually it's the most essential life-making substance. Yeah, well, especially the Californians who seem to not want to regulate their water consumption or whatever. So, look, I got a feeling this year you're going to see a lot of these waterways in the United States filling up pretty significantly. There's been massive amounts of snow in the mountains this year. There's been massive precipitation in California, although unfortunately California destroyed a bunch of their reservoirs they used to use for, backup water. So when they do have these droughts, they don't have the reservoirs anymore. And they've had so much rain. And even this week, I think it's still raining more there. But they're not storing it anywhere. So that they can, they don't have to drain their end of the Colorado River. So I don't know. I don't get California. California is they're just weird, and they do a lot of things that mess up the rest of the states. But I think you're going to see this year that a lot of waterways, a lot of lakes, a lot of rivers, whatever, are going to be abundantly flowing just because of the incredible amount of precipitation over these winter months this year, which hasn't happened in a few years. So, and especially if you're anywhere along the Mississippi River, you might want to get away from don't stay too close to water, because you're probably going to see some flooding too. Anyway, there's lots of people talking about World Water Day. In recognition of the United Nations World Water Day, Senator Philip Tanimu Aduda, that sounds kind of dirty, continually recognized the need for clean and accessible water for the people of the FCT. I don't know what that means. With over 2,000 solar motorized boreholes substantially built through the FCT. And I don't know if the FCT is. And then they end there with some pictures. So they're digging wells in someplace in, I'm assuming, this might be Africa. Federal Capital Territory. Where is Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria? Okay, I should have known that. I'm partially Nigerian. I should know more stuff about Nigeria. But anyway, happy World Water Day. Also trending today, Dick Van Dyke is trending. Now, apparently, by the way, Dick Van Dyke is 97 years old. And it's not his birthday or anything, and he's not dead. But apparently he had a little accident. He's trending because he crashed his car into a gate in Malibu. So there's an article here in the New York Post. Legendary TV star Dick Van Dyke reportedly was injured when he crashed his Lexus in Malibu after losing control behind the wheel. The 97-year-old actor's car skidded in wet weather conditions before smashing into a gate Wednesday morning. The ordeal left him with a bloody nose and mouth, as well as a possible concussion. Police arrived to find the Hollywood veteran behind the wheel of his Lexus LS 500. He was treated at the scene by paramedics. It is understood that Van Dyke was not taken to the hospital, but instead was picked up by a friend who took him home. Cops have reportedly submitted documents to the DMV requesting that the Mary Poppins star retake his driving test. He's 97 years old, man. Now, if you don't know who Dick Van Dyke is, I'm sure most of you probably do, but he's a big singing, dancing, acting star from the late 50s, 60s, 70s, and into the 80s, and I'm sure he's done some movies since then even. if you have ever seen Mary Poppins, the old Disney musical movie, he was in that. He was in the Dick Van Dyke Show. That's where Mary Tyler Moore got her big break in acting. And but the good news is someone got to use this gift because Dick Van Dyke is not dead. So thank goodness for that. But I don't know, 97 years old, and I'm sure he's still getting some residuals from some of the old movies, and I probably isn't hurting for money, so maybe he should just get a driver. I don't know. That's just my own personal opinion. Okay, beyond that, next, William Shatner is trending, and yes, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. That was a great movie. Good morning, JB. How you doing? Bleep man bleep, LOL. Yes. William Shatner's trending, and no, he's not dead either. The only reason William Shatner is trending is because it's birthday. It's his birthday. ABC. Now, I'm kind of surprised at this, that like ABC News is wishing William Shatner happy birthday. He's 92 years old today. Holy crap. Am I old? Because I remember, I watched Star Trek reruns when I was a kid, but also, let's see. All right, in the chat, I want you to name movies, TV shows, whatever, that William Shatner has been in. He's been in many, many things since his Star Trek days, but he wasn't only in Star Trek. I think he did I know that for sure in the original Twilight Zone, that show from the 50s and early 60s. I know he did a few of those. TJ Hooker, very good. Avocados Diabli, that's one. Yeah, name William Shatner stuff. But the reason I'm surprised that ABC News is wishing him a happy birthday is because William Shatner is very, very, he's very much on the right. And so, they don't usually, the actors on the right, they don't usually give him props. But William Shatner is also highly beloved, even among people who normally hate people on the right. Mainly just for his Star Trek days. But yes, let's see, Airplane 2, TJ Hooker, Survived the Tech War. I don't know what that means. Kingdom the Spider. I don't remember that. William Shatner's Tech War. What was the show? He was Boston Legal. Yeah. He was Denny Crane in Boston Legal. That was the funniest character. I loved that. So that's a good one. Anyway, so a lot of people are saying happy birthday to William Shatner. Try to scroll down and not. There he is. And he's in the Star Trek movies. Nerd God, what is that? I've never heard of that one. Miss Congeniality, yep, he was in that. I can picture most of the country looking like a story. Oh, you're talking about something else. So yeah, and in 1984, William Shatner symbolically gives every other actor in the world the finger by taking the first perfect headshot. Now, wait a minute. Like as in Minecraft, or the headshot like he used for his whatever. Rescue 9/11, yeah, Third Rock from the Sun. I didn't know he was in Third Rock from the Sun, was he? I didn't know that. All right, so anyway, William Shatner, happy birthday. Also, someone having a birthday today is none other than the jazz guitarist, Mr. George Benson. If you've ever sung the Drifters, there's a Drifters cover on Broadway. Okay. Okay, I got it. He had the song on Broadway. He's had a lot of big hits. Here's a little George Benson for you. This is some early George Benson. All right, that's enough of that. Anyway, born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Do you know he recorded the original version of The Greatest Love of All? Oh, yeah, that's right. That song that Whitney Houston remade, whatever. The greatest love of all inside of me. That's not the best line. It's just the first line. I believe the children are our future. Let us teach them well and lead the way. Anyway, born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He also, 1970, let's dive into all the gems. Share your favorite to celebrate the George Benson, who turns 80 years old today. Wow, he was a big star when I was a kid. Let's see, jazz guitar virtuoso, and has won 10 Grammys. Several of his hits are on the boat. What's that mean? Including "Turn Your Love Around," do, 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 do. "I Can Show You How," and also "Give Me the Night." Do, 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 do. "Lady Love Me," one more time, and "Breezin'." So happy birthday, George Benson. Also trending, it's kind of celebrity day. I gotta show you something weird on Twitter today, by the way, because while these kinds of things trend a lot when there's a celebrity birthday or a couple weird things, there's some things today that it's particularly, what's the word? Not particularly, notoriously not trending today. And it's weird, and I think there might be a reason for it. But anyway, another celebrity trending is, or not celebrity, but it might be a celebrity in your home. But Jack Daniel is trending, as in Jack Daniels, the Tennessee whiskey, built with which I learned a lot. I went to a distillery over in Hudson, Wisconsin, a couple weeks ago when Lady Boomer and I just took one of our little day trips, and there's a distillery over there that distills bourbon, which I used to think that bourbon could only be called bourbon if it was made in Bourbon County, Kentucky, but that's not true. There's a process that has to be done to make it called bourbon. But anyway, Jack Daniels is not a bourbon. It's a Tennessee whiskey. They have a slight twist to the distilling process and aging process that doesn't make it a bourbon, but it's very similar to bourbon, same process. Anyway, Jack Daniels is trending because they're saying a dog toy company is ripping off its brand. And what will the Supreme Court say? There's a Supreme Court case. I think you can't really see that very well. There's a Supreme Court case happening. Lawyers for Jack Daniels will argue to the Supreme Court on Wednesday that a dog toy company violated federal trademark law when it parodied the distiller's bottle to sell a Bad Spaniel silly squeaker toy replete with poop-themed jokes. I wonder if that's why they didn't like it. The case pits the rights of the famous trademark holder against the First Amendment rights of a company that wants to use those marks to sell a humorous product. At the center of the case is a squeaky toy. Jack Daniels is suing over a squeaky toy created by VIP Products that is strikingly similar to the Jack Daniels bottles. Apart from the general shape of the toy, the plastic bottle, like its glass counterpart, has a similar font style and uses a black label. So this is the original Jack Daniels bottle on the left, and on the right is the squeaky toy made by Bad Spaniels. And it's funny because, I mean, obviously it's a parody of the Jack Daniels bottle. It's very obvious. In fact, the design of the bottle is also trademarked by Jack Daniels, I believe. So anyway, VIP borrows the Jack Daniels No. 7 brand Tennessee Shower Mash whiskey to sell the old number 2 on your Tennessee carpet, a reference to dog excrement. Crap! And, wait, but Jack Daniels tastes is rooted in racism. Oh, yes, it probably is. Hey, by the way, what happened to, who's that person up there? Hang on a second. I'll find it. I guess that was a hit and run. Where did the Mike clone go? Did the Mike clone leave? Was that just I'm going to complain about Trump and leave? Yeah, Mona Lisa, are you still here? I'm just curious. Mona Lisa, what happened to you? You stopped talking. I enjoy when people who disagree with me are in here, and I wish you'd stick around. If you're not here, sound off, Mona Lisa. Who might be Mike, I'm not sure. Anyway, Mike usually hangs around, though, so I'm not, Mike's cool, even though he disagrees with everything I say. Anyway, so... the dog tag. Oh, let's see. Oh, so the old number 7 sour mash whiskey. They borrows the Jack Daniels idea to sell the old number 2 on your Tennessee carpet, a reference dog crap, and it changes the liquor bottle's 40% alcohol by volume 80 proof, with 43% poo by volume and 100% smelly. The tag affixed to the toys notes that it's not affiliated with the Jack Daniels distillery. That, however, was not enough to keep Jack Daniels from suing the company to take the toy off the market. The distiller argues VIP violates federal trademark law, that the toy, especially the references to dog crap, damages its reputation because it could confuse customers into thinking the product belongs to the oldest registered distillery in the United States. Now, questions in the chat. Okay, let's do a poll because I think maybe Jack Daniels doth protest too much, and I'm curious if you think this damages their brand. Do you think the dog toy damages Jack Daniels brand? Okay, so there's the poll. You can you feel free to jump in there. Jabari, what's up, my brother? Man, Jabari, you going to HotepCon? I can't this year. I'm really bummed that it's on the date it is, but I have a very good reason, okay? Because Lady Boomer and I are going to Hawaii in a combination trip for her birthday and our 30th wedding anniversary, which we already had our 30th wedding anniversary, but we decided this year we'd make a big trip for a super big trip in honor of those two things. So I'm missing HotepCon, but for a very good reason. Selected boys in the house too. Nice to see you.
Yeah, boy.
All right. So anyway, to be sure, everyone likes a good joke. Lawyers for Jack Daniels wrote in court papers, but VIP's profit-motivated joke confuses consumers by taking advantage of Jack Daniels' hard-earned goodwill. Depending on how the rule of the justice could strip away some trademark protections given by giving entities cover legally to use registered marks not belonging to them, so long as they do so in a way that expresses humor. I don't know. Wait a minute. Is this court argument from Ketanji Brown Jackson? Oh, wait, what? Okay, no, we're not doing this. I'm not playing music. Oh, there's other cases on this are there other cases they talking about? Why did they put this video in here? Anyway, this deals with common things pitting somebody who has trademark rights against another who's saying, I'm entitled to use those marks under the First Amendment because it's a parody and I need to take enough of the mark in order to make it funny. People have to get the joke, said Mark Summers, a trademark attorney based in Washington, D.C. Summers added that the justice decision of the matter has the potential to be a landmark ruling if they help define that line that exists between First Amendment rights of expression, to be that parody, be that art or whatever you want to express, versus the important trademark issues that are here, where brand owners who have invested tremendous amount of goodwill don't want their trademarks used in a manner which could result in potential confusion among the consuming public. Now, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Does anyone confuse Jack Daniels with that dog toy? Or is it just a humorous parody of the liquor? And also, if you buy that dog toy, are you not going to buy a bottle of Jack Daniels thinking that you might be getting a bottle of poo? I don't think so. But that's my personal opinion. Looks like so far, people seem to think that it doesn't harm their brand. I don't know. Good morning, Aaron Meredith, too, by the way. Nice to see you. So anyway, that's kind of wild. Now, let's see. For some reason, they put this here. There's Santa Claus, the KKK, and other bizarre hypotheticals raised by the Supreme Court in LGBTQ rights case. Now, I'm going to turn the sound off on this because it looks like they just have the text. I'm curious. I didn't see this coming, but let's find out what this is. Supreme Court arguments on an LGBTQ rights case somehow included references to Santa Claus and the KKK. The court was discussing whether graphics designers can refuse to work with same-sex couples. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson used Old Saint Nick to try to express alarm about the possible consequences of this decision. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. Oh, apparently she's talking here.
A photography business in a shopping mall.
Here, let's listen to this.
During this holiday season. You say that photography is expressive. Can you give me your thoughts on a photography business in a shopping mall during this holiday season that offers a product called Scenes with Santa? And this business wants to express its own view of nostalgia about Christmases past by reproducing classic 1940s and 1950s Santa scenes. But precisely because they're trying to capture the feelings of a certain era, their policy is that only white children can be photographed with Santa in this way, because that's how they view the scenes with Santa that they're trying to depict. The objection, just like your client's objection, is to expressions that violate their own views of what is being depicted.
Okay, here's my answer. In the United States of America, yes. Now, would a photography company like that probably lose a lot of business? Yes, deservedly so. But that's the chance you take with freedom of expression. Freedom of expression, freedom of association is not pretty. It doesn't have to be pretty in the Constitution. It's very, very interesting. So you're saying the government can force your expression? I don't think so.
And so their view of what is being depicted is that a
no. She's JB. They're doing a hypothetical. She's saying a hypothetical. This is a case, probably on one of those cases like in Colorado, where a baker is asked to make a cake that is not, he got asked to make a cake, I believe, for a gender transition, and he did not want to do it. He said that the artistic part of that is not something he will do, and there's certainly other bakers who probably do it. In fact, I would think there are a lot of gay bakers on the planet. I would just, I don't know who would do that. But anyway, so she's making a hypothetical. Could if they were trying to do a 40s depiction of someone taking pictures with Santa, that they would only allow white kids to take pictures to be an accurate artistic artistic expression. And certainly it would be stupid of them to do that in a mall, especially if there's a lot of black people around. But should they be allowed to do it? Or is it part of the First Amendment? I don't know. Anyway, listen to the rest of this.
And all of that in sepia tone, trying to harken back to the good old days, should only have white children in it. That's their firm belief. They are not willing to take photographs of Black, Hispanic, Asian children on Santa's lap. Why is that any different than a situation like this?
It's not.
Because the specific objection that you're including is not necessarily in that photograph, but even if it were, this court has protected vile, awful, reprehensible, violent speech in the past, and it is never compelled.
No, I'm just asking you, why is the objection of the web designer?
Okay. Oh, this is a web designer.
Both Kagan and Sotomayor has pointed out, when we look at your examples, they just say things like, please come to the wedding on this day.
Precisely. It's an invitation to a wedding.
Okay, so if my hypothetical is...
Again, the First Amendment is freedom of expression, freedom of association, freedom of speech. Then you got the, be able to redress grievances with the government and freedom of religion, all that. But those parts that they're applicable here, just like, for example, there are some businesses that have banned conservatives from using their services for their speech. Is that unconstitutional too? Because if she's saying it's not, then there's a whole bunch of people who should probably be reinstated on certain social media platforms and other things. Okay? Because those are also ideological. Okay, so anyway.
An invitation to join me in the 1950s through looking at this photo. You say one is different?
I say that that same clarity of the message isn't in that photo, but there are difficult lines to draw, and that may be an edge case.
Okay, so then conservative Justice Samuel Alito tried to flip Justice Jackson's analogy, which, let's see, they turned the music off yet?
If there's a black Santa at the other end of the mall, and he doesn't want to have his picture taken with a child who's dressed up in a Ku Klux Klan outfit, that black Santa has to do that?
No, because Ku Klux Klan outfits are not protected characteristics under public accommodation laws.
Oh, but neither is, well, in this case, the, I don't know which it is. Okay, I don't know. A public accommodation clause. Huh? So what? It's still ideological.
That would be the same Ku Klux Klan outfit, regardless whether the child was black or white or any other characteristic.
And you do see a lot of black children in Ku Klux Klan outfits, right? All the time.
So anyway, a decision of the case is expected in July. Interesting. That wasn't even part of this. But it just showed up, and it's in the article. If you want to see it, I'll have these linked at the in a single link in the description in the second paragraph. One tab link. You click one link, and everything I've done today will be in order. Links to every website that I get these from, so that'll be there. And then finally, a couple other things trending today. LA Fitness is trending. Apparently, is it 6ix9ine? Apparently 6ix9ine, rapper, entertainer, whatever, got jumped at an LA Fitness in, apparently, I don't know where, but, okay, we don't need to watch this. The articles, oh God. Anyway, if you want to see that video, it's trending just because for some reason LA Fitness is trending and not 6ix9ine. But they beat his ass in an LA Fitness. And it doesn't seem to be an article about it, but rapper 6ix9ine got his ass whooped. Oh, and there's some aftermath photo too of him with his bloody nose. And then there's all kinds of parodies of him getting his ass beat by other people. I'll just link it and you can watch it yourself, but that's why that's trending. And finally, before I get into the main topic and Gunfox's article here, Don't Say Gay is trending, and that's because Florida State Representative Joseph Harding has pleaded guilty to wire fraud, money laundering, and many false statements. He faces 20 years max for first count. Harding was, they say, the sponsor of Florida's parental rights and education bill, dubbed Don't Say Gay by critics. And so they're rejoicing in Lefty Land. Here's the AP article. And again, they use Don't Say Gay for something that is not the name of the bill. But Don't Say Gay lawmaker pleads guilty to COVID relief fraud. Uh-oh. He's got a double whammy. The former Florida lawmaker, again, he's not a Florida lawmaker now. He's a former Florida lawmaker who sponsored the controversial law. And then, of course, they put Don't Say Gay, even though critics called Don't Say Gay. Really, is that in your AP style book? Is that in the AP style book? When you write the name of a law, you write the name that the critics deem it as, or do you write the actual name of the bill? Okay. And in fact, they don't even mention the name of the bill in the first sentence. Critics called Don't Say Gay pleaded guilty Tuesday to committing $150,000 in COVID relief fraud. Joseph Harding, a 35-year-old Republican. And also, notice, within the first two sentences of the article, they note that he's a Republican. Now, when there was this Democrat I don't know if it was a mayor or someone who just got arrested for some shit. And the entire article, you go through the entire article, it never mentioned that he was a Democrat. This is the AP style book for you. Hello, now what? My friend Woo's in the house. What's happening? Good morning from Seattle. Oh, you're in Seattle. Say hi to mom and dad for me. Your mom and dad, of course, for those who are wondering. My friend now, what's parents live in Seattle. So a 35-year-old Republican pleaded guilty in Gainesville federal court to wire fraud, money laundering, and making false statements in connection with COVID-19 relief fraud. According to court records, he faces up to 35 years in prison at a hearing scheduled for July 25th. Harding resigned from the Florida House in December, a day after federal prosecutors announced his indictment. According to court documents, Harding made false statements to the small business, blah, 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 blah. Now, so that they tell about it. And then, of course, again, they have to mention again, Harding became nationally known last year over his sponsorship of a law that forbids instruction on sexual orientation and gender identity in kindergarten through third grade as material that is not deemed age appropriate. Because, of course, the AP opposes that idea. It seems like a no-brainer to me, but I digress. Now, and so people are celebrating that this guy has been arrested. Oh, the architect of the Don't Say Gay bill is pleading guilty to lying, fraud, and money laundering, faces up at 35 years. Oh, joy in Mudville. Oh, and it's all up and down. Victoria Brownsworth, who's one of these Krasenstein-esque web accounts. Let's see. There's so much joy. Now, here's something I gotta say, and I was been thinking about this because a lot of people complain about Ron DeSantis and a lot of the legislation that they have been passing in Florida on this kind of track, right? And I was just thinking about this the other day. Whenever someone complains to you about Ron DeSantis being a fascist or whatever they like to call Ron DeSantis. Here's something you need to here's a question you have to ask them from now on. I'm going to start asking this question a lot. Why do you hate democracy? Okay? Because the people who don't like DeSantis are also the same people who are like, oh my God, this protest at the Capitol in 2021 almost destroyed democracy. They were trying to, ruin democracy. We love democracy and this and that, even though we're not a democracy in the United States of America. But they constantly complain about, how Republicans just are trying to end democracy and whatever. You know what? All the stuff that they're doing in Florida that y'all hate, that's called democracy. They're doing this through the legislature, which in Florida, Republicans control all major branches of government in Florida, and they voted on this stuff. And they have, and Ron DeSantis won the state by a 20-point margin. Why do you hate democracy? That's democracy. That's that democracy you don't like. Although it's kind of a mini republic. But anyway, why do you hate democracy? I'm just curious, because you talk about that shit all the time. All right, let's move on. Thank you again, Gunfox61, who did put a Hamilton in the tip jar. I appreciate that. You can drop a Hamilton. You could put a $5. You could drop a douche. You could throw a small bullet, a big bullet, or whatever number you like. Please sponsor the show at pdognight.live, and you could be the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. All right, Gunfox sent me one of these articles that I have not read. I'm going to react to it live from the Washington Examiner. I don't know why you might need a paid subscription to the Washington Examiner. Do they have paid subscriptions? Anyway, Newsbreak has reprinted this article. Member of the California Reparations Task Force tells residents to prepare for breathtaking proposals. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to be breathtaking and headache-inducing. A member of the California Reparations Task Force told residents to prepare for its breathtaking recommendation. Now, of course, you know how much I hate when the headline of the article and the first line of the article are the same. It's lazy writing. But The task force, established in 2020 by the state government amid the riots surrounding the death of George Floyd, was tasked with coming up with recommendations for the official issuing of reparations to Black Americans. Now, this is fascinating because remember, we're talking about California. California never had slavery. It was admitted to the Union as a free state. I believe, is it just before the Civil War or just after the Civil War? Maybe even during, I don't know if it whatever. But anyway, it came in the United States before the Civil War. It was admitted to the Union as a free state and never had slavery. So I'm curious why the state of California is even talking about giving reparations to Black Americans. And well, we'll get into that in a minute. I'll reserve commentary as I read the article. So, though its final report is due on July 1st, the group has publicly announced prototypes of the recommendations. The reparation figures was $223,329 for each eligible Black person, but was raised to $360,000 per person in early March. Hello, Reaction Puerto Rico, you lovely island. Task Force member Lisa Holder's statement: the Californians should prepare their buttholes, I should say. But anyway, California should prepare themselves for the group's breathtaking recommendations, is a sign that the figure is likely to increase even further by July 1st. Interesting. It's important for Californians to understand that in order to match the scale of America's greatest injustice, we must be prepared for remedies on scale approaching the Great Society programs of Medicare and Medicaid, she wrote in an opinion for Cal Matters, which is some article, I guess, or some magazine. Aside from the monetary aspect, Holder framed the program as a revolutionary project aimed to change the fabric of society. No, it will not do anything of a sort. Okay, first of all, California was a free state. I don't know why they think their taxpayers should bear the burden of paying reparations to, and in fact, first of all, are they going to make people prove that they're descendants of American slaves to do it? Because there's a lot of Black people in the United States, and in particularly California, that were never related to slavery at all, period. And again, they're saying due to slavery. I don't know. Also, I want to talk about the concept of generational wealth. It's an interesting concept because if generational wealth if they're saying, okay, you lost generational wealth. Again, look, I'm not necessarily 100% against reparations. I don't think states be doing it. I don't think the countries should be doing it. If they're going to do it, first of all, they should make the Democratic Party pay for it, because it's Democrats who, hey, again, here's my thing. You bought a company that owes a debt to Americans. You also bought their debt. So first, the Democratic Party should be the ones paying reparations. Maybe some of the banks or whatever that finance labor, if you really want to go there. And certainly, you should be collecting money from the Spaniards, the British, the Portuguese, the Western African nations who all participated in making the slavery thing happen. But the other part is, now is everyone who was a slave going to have to get reparations? Because there's some people who are not Black. Yes, not Black slave shrapnel. There's some people who weren't Black that also were slaves. Also, the idea that this is because there might be generational wealth. Well, if generational wealth was an automatic thing, wouldn't every white person in America who has some ancestry going back, that far, wouldn't they all be rich right now? But they're not. So I'm just, generational wealth. This is a country where you don't necessarily if you had some kind of generational wealth, doesn't mean you kept it. In fact, my wife, she's traced her family back to basically all the way back to England and a couple other places. But the relatives that she had here in the United States before the American Revolution were extremely wealthy. and owned a lot of land, but happened to be a loyalist and got his ass kicked out of the country. So he ended up moving to Nova Scotia, and then the king supplied him with funds to get reestablished in Nova Scotia. But there was no generational wealth from that family in the United States. So, generational wealth is a very, very tricky thing to think of, because guess what? Not all white people are rich, and that's what they think. But anyway, let me go back to this. Okay, so here's the continuing the article. Aside from the monetary aspect, Holder framed the program as a revolutionary project aiming to change the fabric of society. Oh, here it is. Reparations will include programs that disrupt racism within our major institutions. Really? How are they going to do that? These programs will be in housing, criminal legal systems, education, health and medicine, and financial wealth and asset building infrastructure. Fixing systemic racism and rehabilitating institutions will require major changes in these sectors. You're not going to fix anything unless you teach people to be self-sustaining. And what happened, a lot of what happened in this country, not all of it, because there's plenty. And look, most Black Americans, a high majority, are not living under the poverty line. Now, a larger percentage of Black people do than other races, but most Black people in America are middle class, just like everybody else, or higher. Okay, so the idea that you're going to including housing, criminal legal. Look, we've been giving reparations to people who are poor or in that realm for 50, 60, 70 years since the Great Society. Okay? And just giving people things doesn't change a whole lot. Okay? People get into habits that, because they've been given things, that get into habits where they don't fend for themselves. It's the teach a man a fish or give a man a fish concept. And unfortunately, some people decide that they're going to live their life taking fish instead of learning how to fish. And it's hard to change that. Nothing that they do with housing programs or, education or health, medicine, financial wealth and assets building are going to work unless you change an attitude of how people live. Okay. Systemic racism, like affirmative action. Yeah, kind of like that. Okay, so all your little so-called anti-racism programs, which is just a rehashed version of affirmative action. Every time I read about that, when I read Kendi or I read, what's that crazy woman who flogs herself every day, Robin DiAngelo. Whenever I read them, I go, wow, you're basically just asking for another version of affirmative action with a different name. Okay, give us things without teaching us how to build those things ourselves. That's why a lot of times I love hanging out with the Hotep type people, the guys in the chat are from Hotep Nation and all those guys, because they're all about building and building yourself and becoming self-sufficient and also growing a community the right way. This whole thing about, well, let's just give people shit doesn't work. Good morning, Black Hebrew Israelite, by the way.
That's right.
So anyway, holy shit. Let's see, what is she? She added that. She added that reparation will likely include monetary compensation, noting it would not only be for the descendants of slaves, but persecuted Black Americans as well. Oh, so what's the empirical definition of persecuted Black Americans? I'm curious. I'm really curious. What would that be? Do you have what are the factors that are included in persecuted Black Americans? She described the monetary aspect as a critical component of reparations. Holder also dismissed the notion that California was added to the Union as a free state and claimed its wealth came from anti-Black policies. Really? Is this going to be one of those America was built on slavery things? Because that's a dubious statement as well. yes, there was some economic benefit to the 3% of the people in the South who owned slaves, and but I got to remember that most of the United States was built post-slavery, so it has the idea that the Industrial Revolution, which actually probably was the greatest growth of this country ever, had anything to do with slavery. But I'm wandering off on other topics here. The task force delivered a 500-page. Oh, I'm just going to link that if anyone wants to go through 500 pages. The task force delivered a 500-page interim report establishing that California was in practice a pro-slavery state. Oh, was it now? A Jim Crow state and a post-civil rights apartheid state. Oh, goodness. She claimed it's appropriate that California became the first state to convene a reparations task force because the real story is that the wealthiest state in the Union and the fifth largest economy in the world was one of the principal purveyors and beneficiaries of anti-black policies and narratives. Whew. Interesting. With specific and tangible reparations initiatives, California is on the brink of a historic and seismic shift towards finally delivering justice for Black Americans. The task force recommendations will be breathtaking. They must be nothing less, she concluded. The last public proposal calling for $360,000 per eligible Black residents was estimated to cost California over $640 billion. The state is set to have a budget deficit of $22.5 billion next fiscal year. Well, just go ahead and add that $640 billion on top of that. Hello, Blue Ice Cream. The final proposal will likely include caveats that will set the true total much higher. Oh, gee. Shocker. Those include debt forgiveness and subsidized housing recommended by the separate San Francisco Reparations Task Force that demanded $5 million per eligible Black resident. Just another reason that California is a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. Anyway, if you want to read this 500-page interim report, I am going to link it in the description with all the other stuff that we did today. Where are we? 10, 12. I'm doing good timing. All right. So now something I noticed today, in the trending topics that doesn't seem to be trending today. And I'm going to go back and check again. So whenever you do trending topics on Twitter, you get something like this. You get this little For You section. So sex, not gender, Dick Van Dyke, uranium, the Bible, Boris Johnson, Hillary Clinton, praying, Steele dossier, Carl Weathers, Allegra Stratton, Brexiteer, Amber Heard, and Levi's, all trending on the For You tabs. That's weird. There's something that I know a lot of people are talking about that's missing. Although I should open this Hillary Clinton tag. I'm just curious. We'll just put this. We'll do the Hillary Clinton one here next to. We'll do it just before arrest Trump, and we'll put it over here. And then you go into the actual trending topics that are in order, like they're ranked, right? The ranked top trending topics. So we got World Water Day, an ace artist Yoonho Day is a K-pop thing. Ramadan Mubarak, is Ramadan starting soon? That Mandalorian. By the way, apparently Carl Weathers, the actor who was Apollo Creed in the Rocky movies, is currently acting in The Mandalorian, and he directed the first 2 episodes, and it's actually getting really good reviews from Star Wars fans, which is interesting. And apparently he has a kind of a grasp on what Star Wars is about, and so the people who like Star Wars are actually enjoying the 2 episodes that he has directed. So that's kind of cool. Ozil, Wednesday Thought, Dick Van Dyke, FOMC, Redfall, DirecTV Hump Day, William Shatner, Humpy Hump, Power Rangers, Brandy, Mr. Shatner, Good Wednesday, Uganda, Denny Crane, Marcel Marceau, T55, Rebecca Jones, Don't Say Gay, LA Fitness, George Benson, Cena, Daily Quartal, Moderna, and NVDA. What is conspicuously missing from that list? I think you figured it out already. Not a single trending mention of Donald John Trump. Now that's super weird because remember, yesterday was supposed to be Trump arrest day. Trump to be arrested, right? Right there. And we're going to be saying this until he's arrested. That's going to be the name of the stream every day until Donald Trump is indicted or whatever. Hello, Brad Young. And now Advocates Diablo, where it says the arrest Trump hype is already dead. No, it's not. I don't think that people have stopped referencing Donald Trump. And I'll show you the trending. I had to look it up, but I wonder if perchance Elon Musk, who sees this little pending arrest and charges of Donald Trump by the Manhattan District Attorney as bullshit, if he's ordered Twitter to just remove all Trump references in the trending topics. You know how Twitter was curating their trending list? I wonder if they're back to this. This is weird. Zablay, nice to see ya. What's up? So anyway, so I had to go into the trending topics on Twitter from before, and I'm going to include Hillary Clinton. Oh, geez, what's this saying? Oh, well, here's why Hillary Clinton just ended up in my trending list. Meme crackdown. Biden DOJ is prosecuting Doug Mackey for the crime of making fun of Hillary Clinton. Oh, no! Tucker Carlson. Okay, let's see. Let's watch Tucker's little thing here. This Hillary Clinton's trending, I think, because, for several reasons. But here, let's watch this one. Let's see what this is about.
Well, as we told you, the criminal trial of Douglas Mackey.
Oh, this is the guy who his nickname was, what's the character from Major League? The pitcher. Well, here, they'll say it here.
To the First Amendment in modern American history. Joe Biden's Department of Justice is prosecuting
Ricky Vaughn
Mackey for the crime of making fun of Hillary Clinton and her voters with a meme on Twitter in 2016. And for that crime, Biden's DOJ is trying to throw Mackey in prison for 10 years. The trial was postponed
10 years for making a meme.
Was intimidated by the Southern Poverty Law Center. James Lawrence is Douglas Mackey's lawyer. He joins us tonight. Mr. Lawrence, thank you so much for coming on.
Wow, he looks kind of young.
It's hard to believe, just watching from the outside as a non-lawyer, that a case like this could go to trial.
Now, one of the things people were saying that that Ricky Vaughn guy, he's alt-right. And, but anyway.
And that the government could defend trying to throw a man in prison for 10 years.
10 years for making a meme.
But that's what's happening.
Well, Tucker, the Biden DOJ is coming up with new ways to criminalize dissent and to attack our constitutional rights.
Okay, he has a weird
and really,
speaking
this is
affect.
a concern to all of us, and that's why I'm asking your viewers to support Doug's legal defense by going on to memedefensefund.com. But let's start at the top.
The Meme Defense Fund. I just found that funny. I don't know why.
The government is using a statute aimed at the Ku Klux Klan to criminalize political speech in violation of the First and Fifth Amendments. But there's more.
There's more!
Grants the right to confront your witnesses in open court.
And they're not allowing that. That's the other part. They're not. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself.
The government is going to call a confidential witness against Doug. And that's something that's reserved for people that testify against organizations like MS-13.
Or the mob.
The court, in this case, granted the government's request, citing concerns about
you have a right to.
Let's not miss the logic here, Tucker.
Address your accusers.
The logic is that anonymous Twitter accounts are akin to violent criminal organizations. And it just gets worse.
That's right.
It just gets worse. Doug's defense can't cross-examine this confidential witness on this individual's ongoing relationship with the FBI.
What?
It's deeply.
That's messed up.
Deeply
That's
troubling.
messed up.
These are issues that are bedrock. These are. Yes.
Wait, may I ask you though? I mean, It seems to me the U.S. Congress should be withholding funding from DOJ over this, or any members of Congress.
Yeah, that
Marjorie
can't.
Taylor
That
Greene,
ain't
I know,
gonna
has
happen.
been involved in this, but is anybody else coming to your aid on this?
No, because they're afraid of the media saying that you're
She's
supporting
the only
this
Republican member of
alt-right
Congress that's
person.
raised this issue, and I'm glad you mentioned Congress, Tucker, because no one voted for this.
Because they're a
Tucker.
bunch of pussies.
Congress has had the opportunity to address election misinformation and disinformation
Blarg.
repeatedly, and they refused to do it. But Doug Mackey's on trial. When our leaders talk about our democracy, this is what
Like our
they
democracy in Florida that they hate so much.
mean by it. And that's why I'm asking your audience to not only pray for Doug, but to support his legal defense at memedefensefund.com.
All right. So anyway, so that's why this guy is being prosecuted, because he made some memes. Now, one of the memes was a joke about to support, if you want to vote for Hillary Clinton, you can text something to this number, and that's one of them. But this is crazy. That's crazy. And then other people are talking about Hillary Clinton because she's not being arrested. And some of them are saying this with joy. Some of these are saying, what the fuck is Hillary? What up? Why is Hillary? Why the charges that Alvin Bragg are going to bring against Donald Trump? Hillary Clinton was fined for the exact same infraction, because claiming that money that she paid to her lawyers were for legal fees that end up going towards actually opposition research and opposition sabotage when she was colluding with the Russians to come up with the Steele dossier. So but the charge that Alvin Bragg's going to try to do is saying that Donald Trump was paying Michael Cohen for legal fees that went to pay off Stormy Daniels. The same exact, basically, infraction that the FEC decided not to prosecute, that the Department of Justice decided not to prosecute. So that is what Alvin Bragg's trying to get on Donald Trump. So anyway, let's see. With his friends Mike Pence, Chris Christie, Romney, Paul Ryan, Bill Barr, Oprah Winfrey, Hillary Clinton, or the attached, who needs enemies? Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, thanking Trump for his private donations to several African-American scholarship funds. That's right. And that's the man that they call racist. All right, we're going to end this poll here. Looks like most of you people agree that with me that Jack Daniels is kind of doth protesting too much, and that the dog toy does not damage the Jack Daniels brand. First of all, if you're a whiskey drinker, Jack Daniels is not that great anyway, unless you're making like, whiskey sours or shit like that, because it's not very good whiskey if you really like whiskey. All right. So the thing, though, that is really weird that it's not trending today is Donald Trump on Twitter. And I got to think that this is one of those things where Twitter is curating the trending section, which I don't like. You know what? I didn't like it when the lefties do it. I don't like when the righties do it. Okay. Or Elon Musk. If Donald Trump is naturally trending, it should be trending on Twitter. But everyone's talking about Donald anyway. So I looked up a couple different hashtags. One was arrest Trump. And the first thing coming up here is, now I read this yesterday, but I certainly couldn't give it justice because I don't have a very good Chris Rock imitation. But here is Chris Rock from the Mark Twain Prize. By the way, good morning, Zan, who says Rittenhouse is a better whiskey. Actually, he's talking about the Rittenhouse Rye, which is actually a decent whiskey. I was surprised, especially for 100 proof whiskey, which is that's 50% alcohol. It's not bad. It's pretty smooth. I won't buy it because there are better whiskeys out there at the same price point. And the Rittenhouse Rye people basically said they wanted nothing to do with the name Kyle Rittenhouse. But anyway, here's Chris Rock laughing at the Mark Twain Prize, or making a joke about Donald Trump at the Mark Twain Kennedy Center honors for Adam Sandler.
before I start, talk about Adam to CNN people, you guys really gonna arrest Trump?
Okay, that's a little hard to hear, but somebody recorded it while they were in the audience, obviously. Said something like, you guys really gonna arrest Trump?
Do you know this is only going to make him more popular?
He said, you know this is only gonna make is only gonna make him more popular. It's like arresting Tupac. He's just gonna sell more records. And the audience laughed at it. I said, are you stupid? So anyway, let's see, MAGA, and then there's people who hate Trump saying, MAGA are currently planning to surround Mar-a-Lago or wherever he is and shoot any law enforcement entry that attempts to arrest Trump. These people are not patriots. They do not support the police. They are not for law and order. They are domestic terrorists. Really? Looks like he's looking at is it a Reddit thread? What is this? This is probably some bullshit. I don't know if this is a Reddit or 4chan or what the hell this is, but he's referencing surround Mar-a-Lago. Okay, these aren't plans. These are probably, I doubt if they're actually going to do this, but anyway, surround Mar-a-Lago or wherever he currently is and prevent law enforcement from entering. No, Donald Trump said he's going to turn himself in if they do this. In fact, one of the things I read today is that he said he wants them to put him in handcuffs and bring in just for the visual. He's like it is, like Chris Rock said, it's like arresting Tupac. Let's arrest Trump so that everyone is distracted when it is proven that Creepy Joe took showers with 11-year-old daughter. National File. Oh, what's this? Oh, breaking. I didn't see this. Let's see. Let me open a separate link here. This is something that I did not see. Just a second here. By the way, I do use Brave browser. I love it because you don't get pop-up ads. You don't get ads hardly at all. So here it is. This is something new as of when? Oh, this is 2:03 p.m. yesterday. Anyway, U.S. District Court Special Master confirms Project Veritas had actually confirmed the Ashley Biden diary was legitimate. So this is, what do they got here? By order of appointment, appointed me Special Master in the above captioned matters to review materials seized by the government. That's not telling me anything, whatever they link there. Here it is. Ashley Biden confirmed by phone call that the diary, in fact, was hers. And there's the link there. Project Veritas believed that the diary was, in fact, authored by Ashley Biden. Shortly thereafter, a blog published the diary. It's attributed its source as a whistleblower at another media organization that chose not to publish the diary. And in fact, Project Veritas did not publish the diary. Special Master finds that the document are not protected by the qualified journalist privilege. Interesting. Here, let's read this. I'm curious. He says, I note that even under a more exacting standard of petroleum products, that's another case, the journalist privilege would be overcome. These documents are the most relevant and to the essential elements of the crimes under investigation necessary to the government's investigation and not reasonably available from other sources. Because I find the documents are not protected by the qualified journalist privilege, I do not reach the waiver issue with respect to these documents. Okay, then you mean like the Pentagon? What was it, the Pentagon Papers or whatever that were stolen, and the New York Times, didn't get in trouble for having him? I don't know. Chilling effect, as Southern District, New York, chillingly finds that communications surrounding how a leak might have occurred within the organization are not subject to journalistic privilege. The category of documents relates the publication of Biden's diary on a blog called National File. These documents are not information gathered in a journalistic investigation. Really? Citing Chevron 629 F3D at 306. Rather, they are documents related to a rival's publication of the story and the identity of the blog's whistleblower. These documents are not subject to qualified journalist privilege. Interesting. Hello, hi, BHI. What's happening? Yes, it's always boomer time here. This special master, Barbara S. Jones, she's the partner at Bracewell LLP, a law firm headquartered in Houston that generates $300 million in revenue annually. Rudy Giuliani used to share the name placard with Bracewell after he opened their New York offices, was dropped in 2016. National File, whose staff has broken such stories as the Ralph Northam blackface, Klanhood scandal, and the Cal Cunningham affair, did not originally acquire the diary. And they had a full release of it. Did they publish the entire thing? Oh, interesting. I don't know. Anyway, we have never heard from either from federal authorities or the Southern District of New York with respect to this matter. James spiked the diary weeks before the election. If it were up to James, you would never have seen it. Then he lied about it during the final week of the election. He said it was not confirmed. Okay, well, maybe at the time it wasn't confirmed, but it was. National File actually put an article about this. So that's interesting that is popping up in here. Anyway, if you arrest Trump, you're arresting yourself. End wokeness. Nancy Pelosi's net worth when she entered politics was $3.5 billion. Today it's close to $200 million. But let's arrest Trump for a $130,000 payment he made 7 years ago. And then there's obviously the lefty memes. If Trump gets arrested, we'll overthrow the government. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that except for people on the left who are strawmanning people on the right. The fuck you will, says the military. Well, let's remember, the guys down here kind of didn't do all that well in Afghanistan. Well, they did, but they had a prolonged battles in Afghanistan, Vietnam, which they actually destroyed Vietnam, but we still ended up pulling out in disgrace. So anyway, some people say, oh, we haven't won any wars since World War II. Well, let's just say we won a lot of battles, and sometimes even winning battles doesn't necessarily mean you won a war. But when you devastated everything you went in there to devastate, but you don't have the backing of the American people, sometimes they'll say, well, we lost that war. You lost the you lost the confidence of the American people. I would say that in Iraq too. I'm completely I've lost my confidence in American politics when it comes to war shit right now, and still am. So anyway, I forgot. Well, hang on. I'm gonna skip. Since I only have a few seconds, there's a couple of things that are still trending that I have to show you. One of them is Barbie Kardashian is still trending some places. Barbie Kardashian, a career criminal trans woman who changed her name to Barbie Kardashian, has been sentenced to prison in Ireland for threatening to rape, torture, and murder her mother, but she's being sent to women's prison. We talked about this the other day. Well, apparently, I think it's the, let's see, is this the Irish Prime Minister? Somebody, this is someone who is in government in Ireland, and they started asking him questions about Barbie Kardashian. So here's the clip.
This week we saw the case of Barbie Kardashian, a violent biological male with a penis. Kardashian threatened to rape, torture, and kill a woman, and this individual is now in a women's prison in Limerick among female inmates. So, Taoiseach, yes or no question, do you believe that Barbie Kardashian is a woman?
Wait. Okay, let's do some predictions before I play this. Does he say yes? Here, I'm going to give you choices. Answer. Oops, I'm gonna make a poll. I'll just type it. Type it in the chat. Answer. Yes, no, or hem and haw. Okay. Here we go. Is he gonna say yes? Is he gonna say no? Or is he gonna just hem and haw? I'm going to just give myself about 10 seconds here as you are probably typing furiously as I mention this, and then I'm going to continue. Okay. All right, now I'm going to play.
Well, look, I don't know anything about the case yet. So
you don't know anything? Wait a minute. You don't know anything about the case? You know damn well you know about the case, but anyway.
So reported at the weekend, and I have to look into it and talk to Minister Harris about it. I know that a similar situation arose in Scotland, and it was necessary there to change the law to make sure the women were protected. So we may have to consider that. But only heard about this case first. At the weekend,
put him in a women's prison. This is a person who threatened to rape and murder his mother, and then decided, then turned themselves trans and changed her name to Barbie Kardashian.
Or any further.
But Taoiseach, in principle, do you believe that violent biological males should be put into women's prisons?
This is the real question.
No, I don't, quite frankly.
That's at least he answered that one.
If the situation that arose in Scotland has now arisen in Ireland, well, then we're going to have to deal with it in a similar way. But, quite frankly, I only heard about this case for the first time in the Sunday papers. And
you did the Obama answer. I just heard about this in the papers.
Properly and understand it properly.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
I mean, Ireland's not that big of a place, is it? It's not like the United States where you have, one of the largest landmasses of states, or Canada, which is a large landmass. You hear about shit. There's not 360 million people in Ireland. I'm sure you probably heard of this case before now, sir. I'm just curious why you don't have an answer to that. But at least he said no. Prisoners with a penis do not belong in women's prisons. So there you go. I'm actually somewhat I'm somewhat surprised that he gave that answer. So anyway, then I looked up Trump arrested. Oh, by the way, I also remember the other day one of the things that was trending was no one is above the law. Wait till I get to that. So anyway, I'm out of time. Well, I'm gonna go a little longer here today. Where is it? So Trump was not trending in anywhere on Twitter today. That's weird. But then you type in Trump and people got plenty to say. And I know you hate it when I do the Krassenstein Power Minute, but Brian Krassenstein, of course, chimed in today on Donald Trump, or late yesterday. No, this is this morning. This is Brian Krassenstein this morning, who says, breaking, Donald Trump wants to be handcuffed behind his back and do a perp walk when he is arrested, according to advisors per The Guardian. Well, yeah, I'm sure the Guardian's sources are impeccable. Someone familiar with the story. But anyway, he allegedly said that he didn't care if he got shot during a perp walk, claiming it would make him a martyr and it would probably win him the 2024 election. He might have a point there. That's how sick and twisted Donald Trump really is. How in the world could anyone think that it's a good idea to have this nut job run the country again? If he were to win in 2024, democracy and our republic would die. Hey, dumbass. I have a new acronym. It's YDB. Are you familiar with the acronym YDB? When I ever answer some of these people who write this shit on these paid propagandists all over Twitter, like the Krassensteins and Brooklyn Dad Defiant and what's that other asshole? Jeff Teague, and I have a new acronym, YDB. You dumb bitch. So, Ed Krassenstein, you dumb bitch. First of all, if he were to win in 2024, he would have won because people voted for him in the 50 democracies that make up the United States of America, which would be our republic. So if he won, that would be proof that democracy in the 50 states that make up the United States of America works. You dumb bitch. So there you go. UDB, YDB, and it applies both. I usually don't like to use it for women. YDA maybe for women, but YDB is generally a male gendered term. Okay, so YouTube, I'm talking about males when I say YDB. YDB. All right. So anyway, I every day now, because for some reason they dominate my Twitter feed, him and his stupid uglier brother, his uglier twin brother, Brian. So anyway, so yeah, Trump arrested is trending. They haven't arrested one person. Oh, and here's a good point by DC Drano. They haven't arrested one person on the Jeffrey Epstein client list, a child sex trafficker. In fact, they sealed it. Bill Gates and Bill Clinton flew on his jet, but President Trump is the one getting indicted. Yeah, when we're talking about no one is above the law, well, DeFango, the guy who did the Eliza Blue thing, and kind of that, or his thread broke open the Eliza Blue thing, even though there were several other threads talking about Eliza Blue before him, but he picked up on a bunch of the stuff they did. Well, he has a little thread. Remember, when they say no one is above the law, let's talk about Hunter Biden for a minute. I know people say that that's a distraction. Hello, brother Hassam. How you doing? And pissed off Shih Tzu. So here's a little thread on Hunter Biden. No one's above the law, right? And because, oh my God, if you're talking about Hunter Biden, well, he's not the president. He's not this. He's not that. He's above the law, though. Hunter Biden had 25,000 personal sex photos and videos, including pedophile photos, smoking crack, Malia Obama credit card. Hunter allegedly engaged in sexual activities with Caroline Biden and Natalie Biden and even Ashley Biden. These are relatives of his. Oh, one of them is his dead wife's brother. With photographic evidence. Nothing was done. Nothing was done. No one is above the law. Now, Red Pill. This was from back in 2021 when the Hunter Biden laptop first came out, when GTV was posting the contents everywhere. It's years later and people are still going on with the OG investigation. It was no secret that their child, it was no secret that there was child CP, excuse me, I can't say that on YouTube for some reason, on the laptop, and it was reported in major newspapers. Those headlines disappeared quickly, but the fact remains this was 100% true based on research. Nothing was ever done with it. Hunter got to sell some expensive paintings, but no one is above the law. Black Pill, the photo of Malia Obama's credit card and the photos of the black chick he was banging was wrote off as disinformation, yet no one can offer reports that change things. Did you forget that GTV head Miles Guo was arrested for publishing it? Proust it. They say the black chick was actually Aaron Strotter, the person that Hunter Biden was keeping on the payroll, yet that only covers the sex pictures and doesn't offer any reason the credit card cocaine photo does it. Oh, yeah, because the cocaine too. But no one is above the law. GTV was the main organization putting out all the photos and material first. Then it got trafficked across the internet. Recently, Ho Wan Kwok, a.k.a. Miles Guo, was arrested for running a $1 billion fraud by the DOJ. Oh, how convenient. But no one is above the law. This was back when people were still trying to say the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation. Oh, Russia. Why didn't they say it was Chinese? Well, what happened with all the stuff that showed he was banging his family? But no one's above the law. So anyway, and then the first comment on the first one was, well, I wish I had money for cocaine. So anyway, okay, where are my messages popped up there? And let's see. Finally, there's other things. There's other Trump memes. This was Trump indictments is trending, but it's not trending because they don't have it on the trending list. One more little clip here from, where'd it go? Oh, this is so funny. So they got this Jack Smith guy, right? That he's actually going to investigate some other things as far as what was it? Oh, the classified documents, right? When President of the United States had some classified documents, even though he's no longer the president, that were under lock and key and protected by the Secret Service in a locked place at Mar-a-Lago. Unlike the the randomly found documents in Joe Biden's garage near the Corvette, but Jack Smith says Trump deliberately misled his attorneys about classified docs, and Judge Barrelhouse says the government has shown Trump has committed criminal violations. Is Vegas taking bets on who indicts Trump first? Yes, it's indictment watch. Everyone's trying to indict Trump. Jack Smith, the state of Georgia, Manhattan District Attorney, because, there's no such thing as a witch hunt. Anyway, so they have lots of little memes. Now there's another meme. Make America Great Again ankle bracelet. Oh, that's good. Yes. And now again, when they say the lefties can't meme, if the lefties enjoy these memes, then they can meme. They just meme in Leftyville. So, that's not a terrible one. Conservatives, and then someone says, conservatives now face their biggest test. How will they cover the Trump indictments? Will they back the blue and allow justice to run its course, or mindlessly repeat Trump's rantings? I think they meant rantings, not ratings. Whether violence breakouts depends very much on them acting responsibly. I say to anyone thinking about protesting these arrests or whatever, indictments or whatever, don't get caught in their bullshit game. Don't do anything violent. In fact, be anti-violent. Just like they say be anti-racist, you be anti-violent and don't do any stupid shit, because only is going to reflect poorly on people who support any Republican, because every Republican will be painted with this, unlike the burning and mayhem of the 2020. It won't, they don't count that as violent protests. That was just, it's because their cause was so noble. The violence wasn't really violence. It was mostly peaceful, when all the buildings are burning in the background. So anyway, I could probably end the show on that. Now, this is a Twitter account that always makes me laugh. Hilaria Bryden Esquire, aka Holly Bryden. Now, this is the post. This is a funny meme only because this person's a troll. Our son has been glued to the TV for days. He isn't eating it's a 3-year-old son. He isn't eating or sleeping. He just sits there crying and repeating, "Save us, Stormy, save us." Now, this is one of those parody accounts, but it is funny. That is funny to me. All right. And then finally, this is the witness that testified before the grand jury, but the the Alvin Bragg didn't actually ask him questions about what he knows. He only asked him questions that the answers would be detrimental to Trump. So here's him talking about his experience with Michael Cohen.
I'm the one who decided to do this. A lot of people cautioned me against it because I had nothing to gain. The only thing I'm doing is trying to tell the truth to the grand jurors, because I read all these lies in the media that are being promoted by one side. If you see the full picture, listen, if they want to go after Donald Trump and they have solid evidence, so be it. But Michael Cohen is far from solid evidence.
Their top witness, Michael Cohen, the lawyer.
Prosecutor's standard. And I used to be deputy chief of the criminal division in the Southern District of New York. I wouldn't have touched a guy like Michael Cohen, especially if he's a convicted perjurer. Not to mention, as I said, the 50 to 100 lies he told us that are in those 330 emails.
How do you think you dissuaded the grand jury from indicting the former president?
I can't say that, because you just don't know. I can't read people's minds. I could see certainly a few of them were doing what you're doing right now, shaking your head up and down, but not everybody. So I just don't know. I would love for those people to watch TV or something tonight, or just remember what I said and say to the prosecutors, listen, we'd like to see the rest of those emails. Don't cherry pick 6 emails out of 330 and then ask Costello questions about it. That's not fair by anybody's standard. That's pretty. I have a statement here. I'll give it to you people. Yeah.
Paid Stormy Daniels with his own money, not at the behest of Mr. Trump.
That's what he told us. Yes, not his own money, money that he borrowed pursuant to a HELOC loan.
The loan.
Yeah. And why did you take the loan, Michael? I wanted this secret. I didn't even want my own wife to know, much less Melania Trump.
But just to be clear, did he ever specifically tell you that Donald Trump does not know about this?
Yes, absolutely. He said that.
He said that?
That's what he said at the time. Is it true? I don't know.
Did you tell the grand jury that?
Yes, I did. But I had to force that into an answer. They were getting upset because they'd ask me a limited question based on one of these 6 emails, and I would volunteer information.
Remember, there's another 330 emails that they can go over in an actual trial. So anyway, so I'm going to end with that. Thanks everybody for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. Hey, before you do that, don't do what you just did there. Click the like button first. I need your help. that helps me. Click the like button, share the stream, do all the stuff that everyone else asks you to do. There's only 24 likes and 41 people here. Come on now. Come on. Click that like button before you go. Share the stream like I always ask you to do. You can share it after the show. If you're watching a replay, comment in the comment section, especially on Rumble. If you're here watching on Rumble and you're watching a replay, just let me know you're here. I'm trying to figure out who's watching over there. And finally, please, if you want to sponsor the show, pdognight.live is available 24 hours a day. If you put a message in there, I'll read it tomorrow. If I'm not broadcasting, if it's during the show, I'll do it right now. Thank you for our lone sponsor today. That would be Gunfox61. Gunfox, you are the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. It's time for me to go. My name is P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, this is P Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.